Well, greetings. I don't expect for a lot of people to be up. It's kind of late. It's about 7:30 on the West Coast. So I bring you greetings from the West. Wherever you may be at, I wish peace to your family, friends, and loved ones. Tonight, uh, we're going to talk about death. Death will come. And for those of you who know, and for those of you who don't know, my mother has transcended. She's um, she's no longer here in the presence, but she'll always be with me. So I began to reshape and to relook at some of the things that we deal with in Freemasonry. And in Freemasonry, we talk about the legend of Hiram Abiff and his death. And also in Freemasonry, there are emblems of that we as Masons have that represents death. Um, However, in saying that, it seems to me that some of us, including myself at times, tend to think of ourselves as being invincible, like we're going to be here forever and a day. And some of you may have lost your mother or your father, they may have transcended, or maybe a dear friend or a Masonic brother or sister. And I have lost them. They have gone. I have brothers and sisters that I've been knowing for years in the Masonic order, and they're no longer with us. But when a parent leaves and transcend, it's a little bit different. I would share this with you. I had a very dear Masonic brother of mine to pass, and I mourned for him for 2 years. I did. I cried. It was something about his passing that took something from me, and it took a long time for me to get over his passing. And when my father passed, it didn't take long. I cried, and it was a good cry, and I moved on with life. And now here I am, laid my mom to rest not long ago, on Saturday, and I'm back in California. And it was interesting because the more I find myself being busy, I don't think about her passing. I'm It's as if she's still here. For those of you who can understand that. So today we're going to talk about the legend of Hiram Abiff and death. And some of you may say, "Well, wow, why that?" Because we there's a part that is in that play, that is in that moment that we deal with Hiram Abiff in his death, in his resurrection. So we're gonna dive into that just for a minute, because I don't know how many of us really take a serious understanding to what takes place when we are raised to the sublime degree of a master mason. I know some of us, I don't know how many of us take that serious uh, compared to anything else in Freemasonry. I think when I look back on my raising ceremonies, it's a very humbling thing. But I don't know. I think that during the process of us being who we are, we tend to forget how humbling it was. And I will tell you this, for those of you who don't know, and some of you may know, in some jurisdictions they actually put you in a coffin. They actually do that. And I don't know how your jurisdiction may do that, but it's something about that part of the legend of Hiram Abiff that is very interesting. I want you to realize something, that it is very peculiar to me. A good name is the best thing you can have about yourself. A good name is the best thing you can have about yourself. I don't care who you are. Your name uh, can open doors or close them for people. So I would say that a good name is the best thing that you can have. And the reason I say that is because I was reading, and it says a good name is better than precious ointment. So in saying that, ointment in the days long gone was very precious. It was something to have, because if you know anything about scriptures, when Christ was having his feet washed with ointment from Mary Magdalene, one of his disciples got kind of upset because they was like, "Do you know what we can? Do you know how much money we can get for that ointment?" So a good name is better than gold. A good name is something that you can't get back once it is tarnished. So I would tell any brother, any sister, to protect your name. It's all you really have. As I said before, it can open or close doors. It really can. Your name alone. So as I take a look at the uh, at the death of such a good man as Harriman Biff in that legend, let's consider this. My integrity, your integrity, where it says that my life you can have, my integrity never. How many of you are willing to sell out your integrity to get ahead in this thing we call life? How many of you are ready to just set your integrity aside just so you can get a seat in your lodge or in your chapter? How many of you are willing to sell out your integrity, run with the boys and to be with the girls? How many of you are ready to do that? My integrity, never. My life, you can have. And when I think of that, I also think of the 8 emblems that we have, and 2 in particular that come to mind is the ark and the anchor, which are 2 of the emblems of a master mason. The anchor, which is to hold you steadfast, and the ark, which represents safety. And I don't know how many of us think about these emblems that we have in Freemasonry and the lessons that they teach in regards to your life, because I believe that in dealing with some of us, we tend to toss those out the window when we're talking about recognition and all that stuff. But we're tending to miss the core essence of Freemasonry and what it means and what it teaches an individual in regards to their life lessons. So when you look at uh, the ark, and when you look at the anchor, and what do they really mean to you? The anchor to keep you steadfast when the trials of life comes up, and the ark of safety, someplace you can go and be safe, and you don't have to worry about anything. And what do we think about the swift that comes and takes your life from you? And what do we think about the hourglass, the sands that sifts through it like nothing? What are we doing with our times? Are we really helping a good man to become better? Are we really helping him and holding her accountable to the standards for which we have in this fraternal order of Freemasonry? I would tell you this. Based upon the experience I've just had in my life, and I continue to have, there are some hell of a brothers out there. And when I say that, I'm talking about across jurisdictional lines. I've had brothers from various jurisdictions to reach out to me and to assist and aid me in this journey. Literally assist and aid in this journey. I need not to call names because I don't believe they would want me to say or to call their names, and maybe they would, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tell you that regardless of your jurisdiction and where you may be at in your Masonic journey, when a brother is truly in distress, those who are true Masons, hear me clearly when I say this, those who practice the tenets of Freemasonry in the Order of the Eastern Star, they will come. They will come, regardless of their jurisdiction. Hear me clearly. I'm going to say this once again. For those brothers and sisters who truly practice the tenets of Freemasonry in the Order of the Eastern Star, when you are truly in distress, they will come. I'm not talking about a fly-by-night Masons or a fly-by-night sister, one who generally doesn't know what it is to be an Eastern Star or a Mason. I'm talking about someone who carries the essence of Freemasonry in the Order of the Eastern Star in their very being. They don't necessarily have to know you to assist or aid you. I'm talking about someone you've never seen before in your life who will reach across and say, brother, because of your time of distress, here's a token of appreciation. And I hope this would help in an aid along your way. I'm talking about true masonry in the Order of the Eastern Star. See, because I, from my own experience, have seen some of us forget about that. I've seen some of us in chat groups and things like that talk about the next person like they're nothing, like they're shit. But I've also seen brothers from various jurisdictions who live that life. I'm talking about Prince Hall. I'm talking about Modern Free International. I'm talking about Ancient Free and Accepted Masons. I'm talking about my white brothers of the craft, mainstream. I'm talking about the true essence of Freemasonry. I'm not talking about something that's based upon your lineage. I'm talking about something to where when a brother or sister truly understands that you are in distress, they would actually come to your aid, your need. Because death will come. And it's not going to be about your jurisdiction when it comes knocking at your door. And this is what I enjoy and what I love about the craft. For those true brothers and sisters to step forward and say, hey, I'm here if you need me. Yes, I do need you. All right, what do you need? And you ask, and they go and do the best they can to what you have asked them to do. And it is beautiful. Let me tell you, it's beautiful when brothers and sisters really go beyond their obligation to the craft and to the Order of the Eastern Star. And I say that because when I got to Mississippi, and there were brothers who knew I was on my way to Mississippi, when I got there, and then when I got to my mom's church service, there was a Grand Master. We're pretty good friends, but I had no clue that he was going to actually be there, even though he told me, I got you. I'm going to be there for you. But to get there, and he beat me there, is awesome. It really is. And for him and his jurisdiction to step forward and to assist and aid says a lot about that individual in his Grand Lodge. And he knows exactly who I'm talking about. You know, and this is the essence of Freemasonry. I'm telling you, as much as we beat each other up over who's regular, who's not regular, and all of that, death is the thing that we all have in common. It's going to come knocking at your door. And when it comes, are you going to be ready? Are you preparing yourself to transcend? And I say that because as I look at the legend of Hiram Abiff, and as he was trying to escape death, and he was given the final blow, and he said, my life you can have, my integrity never. That says a lot about Hiram Abiff. What does it say about you, brothers of the craft and sisters of the order? What does it say about you? Are you willing just to sell out your integrity? I'm just asking because I've seen some strange things in these 32 years in the craft. I've seen brothers do some things in the craft. I've seen sisters do some things in the craft. I'm not judging. All I'm saying is I've seen some things. And that go for me too. Now look, when I talk and when I speak to you, I'm also saying that, hey, I'm no better. But the thing is that we should hold each other accountable. We should be able to whisper good counsel in a brother or sister's ear to let them know of oncoming danger or how we're able to assist them in this life journey. Don't just leave them out hanging dry because you may not see him as being regular or whatever. Let's not do that to each other. And I would say that this past week have shown me what masonry truly is. Now, I've had brothers in my own jurisdiction to come and to assist and aid, and my Grand Lodge and things like that. But when brothers who are not even in your jurisdiction reach across the aisles and say, I got you, man, that's beautiful. That is truly beautiful. I literally mean that, because I don't know how many of you would probably ever experience that. I'm sharing with you this whole week has been one of realizing that I'm part of something bigger. I know I often said, masonry is bigger than where you at. I say that. But when you experience that by people you've never met before, you've never laid eyes on before, it's something different. It's something different. It is beautiful. It is just awesome. It is just, it lets you know that this organization, it's beautiful. Being a Mason, being an Eastern Star is like being nothing else. And I'm not just saying being, I'm saying being a part of, being actively involved in the works. Not just, oh, I'm a member. I'm not talking about you members. I'm talking about individuals who are actively involved with their lodge and their chapter. Those individuals who take masonry in the Order of the Eastern Star and apply it to their daily life. I'm talking about those who understands the 8 emblems of the Master Mason degree. I'm talking about those sisters who understand those 5 herons and what they mean, and understanding that they too are going through those very essence just as those 5 herons. I'm talking to those sisters of the order and those brothers of the craft, because some of us are just part of the organization, just happy to be a Mason. We are. I'm a Mason. I can travel in foreign countries and receive mass. I can do that. And that's all good. And that's all great. But when a brother is truly in need, do you actually reach across the aisles of jurisdictions and reach and assist and aid that brother? You really apply your obligation, not just to your own jurisdiction, but to all Masons, to all Eastern Stars? Do you give them that which is due to them based upon what you said in your obligation? My life you can have, my integrity never. A good name is better to have than anything in the world. Are you basing that all on that, or are you just a member of the organization? I'm just asking a question, trying to get a little feedback because of my own personal journey this week, my own thing that I'm going through. So death will come. And who's going to aid you? Who's going to assist you, Hiram Abiff? Who's going to do that? Because if you know anything in regards to the Order of the Eastern Star, you know that at the gravesite of Christ, when the tomb was rolled away, we understand in that legend that when that happened, we understand that Mary Magdalene was there. Oh, she was there. And she went and told the other disciples after she had met Christ, said, look, he has risen. And they told her she was crazy. Go on, woman. They locked up in a room. 12 disciples locked up in a room, scared to death. Hey, sis, could you give me about 5 minutes and I can call you right back? All right. Okay, thanks. And that's the beauty. Somebody posted on one of my videos. He said, "You're very unprofessional. I was eating and carrying on." Look, let me say this for those who are new to this channel. This is like having a conversation on the porch, or having a conversation with my brothers and sisters, and we're chopping it up. This is not that page where you're going to get a fancy background or any great pronunciations of words. We're having a conversation, a good conversation, I would hope, and we can have this small debate to agree, to disagree, but not tear each other down. So this is what this page is all about. This is what this podcast is all about. So back to the topic at hand. Death will come. Now, what are we going to do when it comes? Because it is the great equalizer. As Hiram Abiff said, my life you can have, my integrity never. How many of you are willing to maintain your integrity instead of selling out? It's worth asking. It's worth asking because I think a lot of us don't do enough research on our own to understand what we're really a part of beyond that of what's been handed to us. It's true. I don't know. I want to say greetings to everybody who's coming on tonight. I want to say how much I appreciate you and I thank you for tuning in. Please share the channel. Please hit the like button. I don't know if YouTube has kind of slowed my progress down a little bit. I was kind of speeding up, getting a lot of views and a lot of likes, but for some odd reason, that sort of hit me at a plateau. So I'm trying to move past that. So please hit the like button, hit the share button, and we can definitely move this thing beyond where it's at. So I'm just going to take a look at what some of you have been saying. And greetings once again for everybody who's coming on. And I certainly want to say how much I appreciate you and hanging in there with me. It's been a few days, and I've just been processing a lot of, life things right now. So I'm back, and we're going to see what's been happening here. So good evening to everybody. Charles, what's going on with you, brother? Yes, indeed. How you doing, Enoch? Appreciate you. Michael J, what's up? What's happening, man? I appreciate you. Everybody who's coming on. Elijah Shabazz, what's up, man? I appreciate you. Greetings. I got your text message, bro. Thank you. How you doing? What's up, brother Maddox? I appreciate you, man. I'll be seeing you soon. When I get into town, brother Maddox, I'm going to make sure I let you know that I'm there, okay? I'll be seeing you real soon. Don William, what's up? Hey, Sister Jennifer, look. You called me. I told you to call me back and you never did. Did you just fall asleep or something? I know the time difference. So good evening, everybody who's coming on. I just want to say how much I appreciate you and thank you for your prayers and your condolences. Those who text me, those who actually gave me personal calls, I want to say thank you. But tonight we're talking about that thing we call death, because it will come. Now the ideal is whether it be for family members or dear friends or whomever, the ideal is that it is the great equalizer. It is that thing that we all are going to be faced with one day. And that's going to be beyond your jurisdiction, So as we proceed, as we go into this thing we call Freemasonry in the Order of the Eastern Star, I want to encourage you, no matter what jurisdiction you're in, I want to encourage you to build your jurisdiction. You're going to meet with opposition. You are. Some of our jurisdictions are way up here and some are down here. And some have some great members in them. And you're going to meet with opposition as you try to build, establish, bring up, bring to your organization life. Because some of our lodges and chapters are dead. So this death will come. It pertains to not only life, but life in your lodge, life in your chapter. Because you have people who are of age in your chapter who've been there for years and eons, don't want to do nothing, don't want to move. And they will suck the very life out of your lodge and out of your chapter. So when you have youth in your chapter, in your lodge, they want to suck it out because they've always done this, always done that, this way, that way. And when a youth when youth comes through, they want to snuff life out of it and then they leave. They want to have nothing else to do with the craft, or they want to have nothing else to do with the lodge, because that brother who's been there for eons in their chairs wish for master, senior warden or junior warden, he's been sitting in a corner, he snuffed life out of it. Death will come. What are you going to do? How are you going to revitalize your chapter, your lodge, when death comes to it? How are you going to do that when you have people and individuals there in your chapter, in your lodge, who's snuffing it out because you want to talk to me? No, you can't talk to Brother Hawkins. No, you can't. He's of another jurisdiction. You can't have a conversation with him. Why? Recognize. What? I'm a grown man. Oh, yes. But you can't have that conversation. Hey, Grant, come through the side. All right. You know, so when you see that and have that, you have to understand. You really have to understand. It's a process. Let me tell you. It's funny because I was in a position on the national level, and it was told to me I should be quiet. I shouldn't say anything. I should wait my turn. I'm cool with waiting my turn. But to see people drain your organization to death, I could no longer sit idly by. You're a coward when you do that. If you're in your lodge, if you're in your chapter, and all you do is sit idly by and say nothing when you know stuff is wrong, you're killing the very thing you say you love. You're taking life out of it. You're snuffing life out of it. That's what you're doing. We have to stop doing that. We really, really do. So as we look at this thing, as we begin to break down this whole thing I call transcending, as we begin to look at it, it's part of life. You know, even if you're not in the organization, you're gonna meet the final. You're gonna have that final blow. You're gonna definitely have that final blow. Are you ready for that? And you're going to be buried, and they're going to plant an acacia at your grave site. They're going to plant it. They are. It's just that simple, you know. So as you try to escape, be it out the west gate, what's up, Grant?
What's going on?
Or be it out the south gate, you know, as you try to escape,
What's going on with you, bro?
it's all good.
Just trying to get me in this picture.
That's my grandmaster right there. Yeah. So as you try to escape out the west gate, out the south gate, and then you meet with your final blow in the east, and then you've taken and left for dead in the west. It's an interesting thing. It's an interesting thing. So when you look at this thing, we says remember the days of thy youth while the evil days come not. Why do you think they say that? Just think for a minute. Why do they? Hey, remember your youth while the evil days come not. Your youth. That's when you think you're invincible. Your youth, you all of that in your youth. Man, you could jump out of a window and not even care where you land in your youth. Shoot. Come on now. You know how it is in your youth. Don't tell me you ain't never done some things in your youth and thought you was invincible. You know? So it says, remember thy creator in the days of thy youth. You know? While the evil days come not, because the evil days are those days when you get a little older and you know that you've done some jacked up stuff. The evil days when you know that you're doing some evil stuff. You know? And then it says, not only it says, okay, so it says, remember thou creator in the days of thy youth while the evil days come not, nor the years draw night. The years draw night. I'm more closer to death than I am anything else in this life right now. It's truth. I am right now more closer to death than anything else in life right now. Because it comes like that. So we are supposed to remember our Creator in the days of our youth. Because when night comes, and night will come, it's the closest you'll ever be to death. It is. It's that. So it just gives you something to think about. So I want you to think about Hiram Abiff and what he meant to when he said, my life you can have, my integrity never. I want you to think about how he tried to escape, but he couldn't because of those three ruffians who wanted to snuff his life out and what it meant. I want you to think of the mere fact of even after they found him, and those other 13 who went and searched high and low for him, and they heard in a distance, oh, it was I. Oh, it was I. No, but I gave the final blow. I want you to just think for a moment. Death is going to come. And I want you to think about those 8 emblems as a master mason. One being the coffin that's going to hold your damn body, be it cold. I want you to think about that shovel that's going to take that dirt and put it over that casket with your cold body in it. And I want you to think about those flowers or that evergreen that is planted at your head to mark the spot where you was laid to rest. And then I want you to think about the immortality of life. Death will come. It will. So, with that being said, I hope, as always, that you've definitely gotten some out of this. Just wanted to share a little bit with you as I began to kind of get back into the groove of things and life. Because no matter what has happened, the sun is still sitting in its rightful place. The earth is still rotating around the sun. It's still there. Tomorrow will come, whether I'm here or not. So I have to continue to move forward. We have to continue to just take life and enjoy it. I know some of us are hell bent on destroying each other, but that gets you nothing. That gains you nothing in life. It really doesn't. Death will come in a twinkling of an eye. It will come. And we must understand, as Masons and Eastern Stars, where do we play a part in this? How does this fit into the initiation? How does this fit into what we are part of? How many of us really take hold of the very thing that we say we love and we like to do in this thing called Freemasonry? How many of you actually are actively participating in doing the things that we proclaim that we are part of in Freemasonry in the Order of the Eastern Star? Or just to say that you are a member? See, there's a difference. Some of us just have membership, and then there are the core of us who actually have membership. See, there's a difference. See, membership, I have membership in my jurisdiction. I do, just in my jurisdiction. I'm a member of John G. Jones Grand Lodge, California, Ancient Free and Accepted Mason in my jurisdiction. Membership. But membership is beyond my jurisdiction. It's beyond that what we can actually comprehend when you're talking about having and being part of the Fraternal Order of Freemasonry in the Eastern Star. See, it's beyond that. Some of us just have membership in our jurisdiction. That's all you got. That's all you ever will have. That's all you will ever be. And then there are some of us who have membership. So we can actually enjoy Freemasonry beyond the boundaries of our meager jurisdiction. See, some of us can go past that and some of us can't. Some of us just won't do it. Too afraid. People who are scared get nothing out of life. They don't get to enjoy life. See, people who are afraid stay afraid. They don't move. They don't go. They're too afraid. They're terrified. Hurt people will hurt people. See, a scared person will hurt you. They ain't out to save you. A scared person will hurt you.
Trying to save themselves.
Trying to save themselves, as my grandmaster just whispered. You know, have you ever seen a person who's drowning? I have. And someone who's an expert swimmer goes out to save them. And because they are so afraid, they would actually end up drowning the very person who come out to save them? That's a scared person. And some of us are like that in Freemasonry. We're just terrified. You don't go nowhere. You don't do anything. You just hold membership. Because, you know, I'm a Mason. I'm an Eastern Star. But to those who have membership, meaning outside, they can enjoy what Freemasonry is really all about, beyond your borders of where you're at, That's something different. I can actually say to experience that from people you have never met before is different than anything. Hear me clear. To experience membership versus membership, you know, my voice is a little higher when I pronounce one versus the other. To experience that is different. To have a brother you've never seen or laid eyes on before, call him and say, brother, I got you. What do you need? Check this out. Go here and you can get that. Man, that's different. It's cool when your lodge can say, brother, here's a token, or your Grand Lodge, here's a token. That's cool. You expect that from them. Okay? But when it goes beyond your borders to someone you've never seen before, a sister you've never seen before, calls you up or tells you, hey, I got you. That's different. And that's what we must understand. Masonry is just, it's great. I don't have any words to express it or to say it. Many people will probably never be able, man, to experience what I just experienced with individuals outside of my own jurisdiction is amazing. Simply. It's amazing. And it showed me that this is what Masonry is all about. It's not about visiting lodge or chapter. You know what? Before I left, going home to Mississippi, I had lodge visitation in Los Angeles with some of my Hispanic brothers. I went, I visited, and I had a great fellowship. They were celebrating the birthday of their lodge. I had a great time. Condolences and all of that was offered. Beyond your own jurisdiction, when individual reaches out to you, sincerely reach out to you with tokens of condolences and doing things for you, that's different. And that's what we often say Masonry is really all about. But until it happens to you, until you experience that, you will never, ever know. You can call me, well, you can call me a piece of shit if you want to, but you would never, ever understand what it is in Freemasonry until individuals from across jurisdiction that you've never seen before really hold steadfast to what it is they say they are a part of. Freemasonry, blood sacrifices, yes. I am asking you about your picture and the statement that you just made about Freemasonry hurting and destroying your life. You totally misunderstood me. I didn't say Freemasonry hurting or destroying your life. I'm saying that hurt people, meaning to say that some of us who are in Freemasonry, we're hurting. And we hurt other people who actually tries to save us. We hurt them just like a person who is drowning. They are drowning, and the very person who's trying to save their life, they end up drowning them. You've heard stories of that, about that. So I'm just saying, a lot of us that are in Freemasonry, a lot of us that are in lodges, we are sucking the life out of our lodge because we don't want to put anything into it. And then those people who try to put things into it are crucified for that. And then this is what you get. That's what I'm saying. And it says the blood sacrifice. Yes, I'm asking you about your picture. So the picture is not necessarily about blood sacrifice. The picture is simply saying that death will come. That's what my picture is all about. It's not about blood sacrifice. My picture is simply saying death will come. That's the statement under it. So, hey, you know, Freemason blood sacrifice. Look, Chad, is that you? Oh my God, Chad, I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. At Freemason blood sacrifice, Freemason don't ruin your life. Those were people who just happen to be Mason. There are differences. Traveling man, I will agree. Well, Freemason blood sacrifice must have had some things done to him in his life. I think that's Chad. Oh my God, Chad, if that's you, we're going to have a conversation. You can't be coming on here with that Chad. You can't do it. Well, help me to understand what you are saying. They cover up for others, Masons, but you are not a Mason. Look, I'm going to say this, Brother Shabazz. For those who are Masons, I'm talking about Masons. I'm not talking about a drive-by Mason who just wants to be part of the organization. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about those who hold to their obligation, not just parts of it, but really go all out. And those brothers who go beyond, or those sisters who go beyond their jurisdictions. I'm talking to them. In our obligation, in our oath, that's for us. That's not for the common person. So if I'm going to protect my brother, I'm going to protect my brother without causing harm or hurt to myself. I'm going to do it. I don't care if he's black, white, Puerto Rican, French, or whatever. If I know that that's a Mason or a sister of the Order of the Eastern Star, and if I can assist them along the way in life, I am, going to do it. I said I would. I don't care about what other people may think or say or do. But I know what I said I would do. I can't speak for other people. Yes, I will warn my brother of oncoming danger. I would. I would do that. I will whisper good counsel in his ear. I would do that. And with his sister also. And if I can protect them without losing my life, I will do that too. My life you can have, my integrity, never. There's a difference. And some of you won't catch that until it's too late. Oh, it is Chad. Chad. You know, I'm going to say this about Chad.
Got trolling.
Freemasonry sacrifice. Oh my God. Chad is a cool dude. I can say that. I can say Chad is a cool dude. And he has a ton of questions. So I'm giving Chad free reign tonight. He's not a troll or anything like that. He is who he is, and I can respect that. He and I have had conversations. So, Chad, you okay with me? You all right with me, Chad? I know. You're on here to learn, not to troll. I know, Chad. But some may see that you're a troll. Some may see you as a troll, Chad. I'm just letting you know. I'm glad you told them that. That would lead to an advanced culture. I love you too, Chad. Boy, you something else. Are you driving trucks tonight? I need to know. Are you driving? You need to be safe on that road, man. You need to definitely be safe. Don't be confused, Chad. Don't be confused. I'm just saying that in Freemasonry, we talk about Harem Abiff, and we talk about the 8 emblems of Freemasonry, what they represent, and how we're supposed to apply them to our life. We talk about those very things. But we don't go beyond our jurisdiction to do the things that we say we would do. We're just here in our own little part of the world. I'm a part of this jurisdiction, and you leave it at that. But Masonry being bigger than that, and I personally experienced something this week that I can actually say, look, it's a joy to be part of this organization. Not just part of my own jurisdiction, but I'm talking about the totality of Freemasonry. I know that there are some brothers and sisters out there who don't give a damn about me. So what? But I do know this. There are some who are willing to treat me with all due respect, like a brother of the craft and a sister of the Order of the Eastern Star. There are some out there who just, they really take this thing to heart. And there are some out there who just like to talk a good game. That's all you do is talk. I'm talking about actually applying the very thing that you say you're a part of. That's what I'm talking about. I don't care what color you are. I know some of you may say, well, how can you always talking about race? Race plays a part in daily life activity. I'm just saying, in this thing we call Freemasonry, in the Order of the Eastern Star, it's beautiful when applied. It's beautiful when given and applied correctly. There are some rotten Masons. There are some rotten Eastern Stars. There is. But when you take this thing that we say we love and enjoy and actually see it, how it's supposed to work, how it's supposed to happen, and when it is applied, boom, it's a. This is why I'm a Mason. It's truth. It is so freaking true. So for those who said alibi and you're just in your lodge or in your chapter, but you don't really participate, you don't really get involved with your lodge, with your chapter, you're just a so-called member. But there are some sisters out there that have membership, that their cable toll reach beyond the boundaries of their meager jurisdiction. I don't care if your Grand Lodge got 50,000 members. But when another brother from another jurisdiction or sister from another jurisdiction reach across the boundaries and say, I got you, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And it doesn't matter what color they are. It doesn't. But too many times we, black people, you people, depend on somebody else to verify who you are. Yeah, I got it. And this is what you get, and this is where we're at. So when I talk about that, that's what I relate to. Okay? So don't take it personal. Spill my Pepsi messing with y'all tonight. So look, I've been on here for a little while. As I've said about 15 minutes ago, I hope that somebody has gotten some out of this, because I know I have. And you know, I have two Chads on tonight. And I want to say, hey, what's up, guys? Hey, I appreciate you guys, man. I really do. Thank you. And to the brother out of New York, you know exactly who you are. To the brothers out of New York, let me put it that way. To the brothers out of New York, and you know exactly who you are, who reached out to me and really showed me what brotherly love, relief, and truth is all about. I want to say thank you. I really want to say thank you, because some of us will probably never experience that, because we're so hell-bent on destroying the next person to missing out on the true essence of Freemasonry in the Order of the Eastern Star. It's a beautiful thing. I just hope that one day, as I've experienced it, that you will experience it that way also. You know, I don't know personally if you have or have not, but man, it is truly a joy to be part of this thing we call Freemasonry in the Order of the Eastern Star. I have found favor with brothers from across the way. And I'm going to share this with you. I got it was beautiful. I'm going to share it with you. I got a call. Well, yeah, I got a call. He called and he text. This was from, hold on. I'm gonna read it to you, because it was beautiful. So I got a let's see. So I got a text and a call from brother Victor Meade. Victor Meade. Victor Meade is the Sovereign Grand Hierophant for the Primitive Rites. He's over in Chile, and he's also the secretary for the Supreme Council out of Chile. And he hit me up, and this is what my dear brother said to me. He said, "Dear brother Tony, please accept my sincere and heartfelt condolences at this most difficult time and in place in your life. these feelings onto your family. Pass these feelings onto your family. There's a great emphasis of life by your mother passing, but I am certain that the strength of love that you and your family share for each other and for your mother will get you through this difficult time. May that love and honor her memory, and may you cherish the time you had together. Life is eternal, and the love is immortal, and death is only a horizon, and the horizon is nothing save the limits of our sight. Wow. I was like, okay. And that's from a brother out of Chile. This just goes to show you that Freemasonry, man, y'all can sit here and go back and forth with each other over small stuff, but Freemasonry itself is way much bigger than where you're at. And this week, I personally experienced that. And to those who have reached out to me, thank you. I appreciate that. Now, as I close that chapter in my life and begin anew, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's popped up on this page tonight and had this conversation with me. As far as death will come, and brothers and sisters, it's going to knock at your door. I'm more closer to death than I am to anything else. That's just the truth, as my mom would say. So, with that being said, whatever you do and however you do it, keep your light on and stay out the bushes. Much love, peace, and soul. I'm out.